I even wore my first Christmas shirt of the year today to talk about the Advent Book Exchange. Good morning, BookTube. It's Lori, and welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper. Today, we're going to talk about the Advent book project that I have taken on with my daughter, my youngest daughter. And you might ask, why did I choose that child over the others? And it's kind of simple. My oldest daughter doesn't read a lot. She likes the idea of reading, but she just doesn't always finish a lot of books, and so I felt like 25 books would be overwhelming for her to read, and she currently doesn't have a lot of space in her home to house all those books. Having said that, I do think that this has inspired me to maybe choose an Advent project in another way for my kids, either this year, although I may not have time to plan it out, or next year. So I do think that there are ways in which I could have an Advent project with my other kids if they wanted to participate that would be similar. Also, while I didn't spend a ton of money on the books, I didn't want my oldest daughter to have that financial burden either. And my son, while he does read quite a bit, I felt like he probably wouldn't want to go out and buy 25 books or find 25 books for me and wrap them and exchange them. I don't know. I maybe underestimated him, but I didn't see that happening. And then my daughter-in-law is pregnant and unable to read. And so, you know, she loves to read, just hasn't had time with the kids and the pregnancy and all that going on. And she is due in January, although may deliver him early. So those are the reasons why I thought Advent project for the other children wouldn't really work so well. So I've carried on with the project with my youngest. So let's start with the concept. I saw this last year. A couple of people on BookTube did an Advent book exchange. And so the concept is that you give a book a day for the person to open for 25 days, 1 through 25, the 25 days of Christmas. You hopefully get a person who will exchange with you, so you also get a book for those days, but it's not necessary. I mean, I could see doing an Advent book project without having to receive one, now that I say that and think about it intentionally. So there's that. We decided to do this last December. So I will say that having the whole year to acquire these books was very helpful. And I had probably acquired about 13 to 15 of them before the start of this month, I would say. Maybe even more. I was pretty well finished. I just had a couple more to add to the list. And actually, I'm glad, because I found one in late October that then led me to another couple, which I can't talk about because she'll watch this video. But I'm really happy that I found that one late and still had a couple that I could include, because it was just perfect. How did I acquire the books? In a variety of ways. So a couple of them I took right off my shelves. I was done reading them. I enjoyed them, but they weren't books that I necessarily would have kept and was planning to unhaul anyway. So a couple of them came from that space. A couple of them came from a gift card I found that that came into my purview by accident that had not been used, and so that's an interesting story. So that helped. I went to little free libraries pretty frequently. I have 2 within a block of my house, and then one within about 5 blocks maybe of my house. So I frequented those, and some of them I took books and then changed my mind later. So I have a stack of books to take back to the little free library now that I didn't end up using, because I found others along the way. I did order occasionally from sites, mostly Book Depository, I would say. I got some really great deals on Book Depository, and a couple of the books that I wanted to add at the end, I could really only find at a reasonable price on Book Depository. I think I got one or two on Thrift books. I am a little more leery of Thrift books because sometimes they don't rate them in the condition that they actually arrive in. And that's a very subjective thing. So I suppose different people, assess the books. And, I found a few at consignment shops or, places that sell used books. So that was good. In fact, one of them I found that I didn't end up giving her, which I'm going to save, because if I find the other two in the series, I probably will give them to her. But I found that one at a Goodwill in Oxford, Mississippi, when we went up in the summer. And so generally speaking, that's kind of where all the books came from. Oh, library book sale. I had a couple that I think came from there, and they have books out for sale. I also did include some book-related items that were not actual books, that are just bookish things, but I still think she will enjoy them. Now, how are we delivering and doing this? So I have been wrapping. I have wrapped up to day 15, I think. So I have a few more days to wrap. I have wrapped them all in the same way, and you'll see that a little bit, because I'm going to show you how I can't show you the wrapping of the books because she might see what they are, but I can show you the packing of the books in a little bit of a video in a minute. I am going to be wrapping, hopefully, the rest of them today. I chose to wrap them all with craft paper, and just to make that consistent. And then I made a tag each day to make that consistent. That took a long time, but it was fun and worth it, and I loved the creative aspect of it. But that way she gets kind of a little snippet about it and why I chose it, or if I read it, or those kinds of things, and maybe a little bit of a snippet of what to expect to pique her curiosity. I am going to ask her not to look ahead to the last 3 days for sure, because those are the culmination, but I really think it would be good if she didn't look too far ahead, just because then she'll just be delighted and surprised. But that's sort of my rule for her. I don't know that she'll feel that way about mine either. We are going to exchange, I think I'm going to exchange all of mine. I'm not sure if she'll be finished by this Thanksgiving Day, but I am finished, and so I will give her a big box full of them, and then she'll be able to open them each day. However, we have agreed, as part of the rules, that one of the rules she wanted to have in there is to open day 1 together. So she's going to come in from the city, and we're going to do that on December 1st, and we're going to open day 25 together, because we will be together on Christmas Day. I also asked her to consider the weight and heft and size of the books from a certain day to a certain day, because I'll be traveling that week and I'll be taking them in my luggage. And so she's agreed to be mindful of that week of travel. I think that's all the rules, that we put in place. We also both agreed to not spend a ton of money, and to really be mindful of the cost, and to acquire them in as many ways as we could that would be free or low cost. And I don't know how she did, but I did pretty well at that. I did kind of space out the ones that I bought, so it wasn't a big expense all at one time. I really was mindful of sales. Book Depository, if you didn't know, is a UK-based site, and they really have great prices on books. They have a great variety, and they ship for free, no matter what your order is. So I really love them. Book Outlet is also a space for you to consider, I think, but I don't order as much from Book Outlet because I think you have to have a minimum of some type to get the free shipping, and I just haven't had as much luck finding what I want there. So I do want to film the unwrapping on my end of the books every day and post it every day as an Advent book video. Having said that, I do recognize that that will be a bit of a challenge, but I'm really pretty committed to that. They won't be long. They won't need a lot of editing. I should be able to do them wherever I am because we might have a baby at some point between day 1 and day 25. So I feel pretty good about my ability to do that. And I feel like it'll be a challenge. So so there's that. But I'm hoping she will permit me to film her and I together opening up our Advent books on day 1 and day 25. So this week I am prepping an intro and outro for the Advent project, which is important to me. I'm going to choose a song to use. YouTube requires that you use songs that are copyrighted properly or are free copyright rights to use. And so I'm going to be choosing an Advent Christmas season song because I really like doing that. I'm a person who likes variety, and I don't like the same song over and over and over again. You may have noted. I'm also going to choose photos of our Christmas decor in our home, I guess, to replace the ones that are up there now. Our home is officially off the market right now, and we're kind of on the fence about what happens next in that regard. But we were not at this time successful in selling our house. So one of the reasons we decided to do that now is so that we can decorate and we can have all of our holiday festive parties and gatherings and get-togethers with our friends and family without having to worry about showings and scheduling and all that stuff. I'll use, though, photos from years past because you typically put up the same trees in the same space, but mostly I'll probably feature the library tree maybe, and we put up 6 trees in my house. Well, 2 outside on the porch and then the others in the house, and that's just the ones we decorate. We have a lot of trees in our house. I think one year I counted 15 or 16 trees somewhere in the house. So yeah, we don't play with Christmas. We don't usually play with Halloween, but this year we didn't decorate because the house was on the market. So I'm going to start with that. So that prep begins today, I think, and the wrapping hopefully will finish up today. When I'm filming this, it is Monday, the 25th of November, and I am just kind of mindful of the fact that on Wednesday, the food prep for Thanksgiving will begin, so I don't want to wait too long. I'm so great at this. Can you just not take a moment to appreciate how unprepared I typically am when I film and post these videos? Just let's take that in. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's all I want to tell you about the Advent project. I'm so excited to engage in it. My daughter Megan is excited too. We've been texting about it for days. She looked up little free libraries in New Orleans, and there are like, I don't know, tons of them just right around the corner from her house. So she's going to have a really great week finishing this up as well. Let me know in the comments below if you've done or plan to do an Advent book exchange. I am curious about, and I may reach out and ask those people that I know that did one last year, how far did you get in the reading of the books that you received? How do you feel about it? Are you doing it again? I don't know that I've heard that they are doing it again. The people that I kind of watched do it, there were 3 of them that exchanged with each other. But I do think that it's great fun. I've also seen other booktubers who have done an Advent Day book feature, so they don't exchange books or buy books, but they just kind of show you a book a day on Advent, during Advent, of what they really have enjoyed and like and recommend. So that's fun, and I think Louise, the big-haired bookworm, is one that comes to immediate mind that has done that. I think this season is a great time to watch BookTube videos. People are very creative. They vlog a lot. I even watch knitters. There's one particular knitter by the lakeside that did a vlog a day one year. They call that Vlogmas. They were gorgeous, just gorgeous. It's a lot of work to do a Vlogmas piece. It's a lot of work to film an Advent piece. But I just think that it's a great way to spread the holiday cheer and feature a great book every day and just exchange ideas, inspiration, whatever it is that you might want to share. So thanks again for joining me. I'd love it if you give this a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell for notification about new videos as they come up. And I wish you a very, very happy reading day. And in advance, I wish you a very lovely Advent season. Bye-bye.